So, okay, there we go. What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? This is the pre-snap read, and you already know I'm here with your lovely co-host, Robin McGee. You already know how we
Hello.
do. We live at 5 in full effect.
Live times two. Woo woo.
Exactly, exactly. And today, Jerry didn't show up today, so I brought in a special guest. He been on here plenty of times. He been on here more than we can count now, man. It's CFL, man. What's up? What's up with you, man?
Hey, what's going on with you, man? Everything good over here.
Heck yeah, we about like 12 days away from the season kicking off,
I can't.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
He needs to come
definitely,
back immediately. It's
yeah,
getting ghetto out
definitely,
here.
yeah. It's the streets looking real rough with nothing on TV. People scratching their head trying to binge watch everything. And it's looking real rough out here. But hey, just know 12 days away, it ain't too long. So you already know how we do it. Robin, go ahead and start the show.
All right. So first and foremost, NCAA released an HBCU ranking, and of course, at the top they have Jackson State. Following them is going to be FAMU. Let's just talk about, do we agree with this HBCU ranking so far? They actually did 1 through 10. But let's start off with, like, one, two. Do we feel like Jackson State should be at the top? Do we feel like it should be somebody else? Just kind of think about where we at. What, who deserves some more recognition? What do you guys think?
So I'm gonna share my screen. So you already know we got Jackson State. They at number one. Yeah, I don't know how they at number one when they didn't win the separation bowl, but they, I guess because they swat, they at number one. So my opinion about that, I'm just thinking about the recruiting class they got as far as the talent and what they have brought in. I mean, they brought in a 5 star, so needless to say, that probably pushed them up to number one. Is if you got the top recruit in the nation, then you gotta be number one with that. What you say, Swat? I mean, what you?
So that's exactly why Jackson State is number one. And no, I don't agree with that. As much as I love Jackson State, I am a firm believer that if you win the championship the previous season, you are number one until somebody knocks you off that throne. So South Carolina
Mm-hmm.
State does deserve to be number one. And I've been vouching for that. I didn't like that they did that. But I do understand why Jackson State is number one. Like you said, Travis Hunter, Kevin Coleman, they have a receiving room, a room full of wide receivers that most FBS schools would kill for. Like, it's that deep. I get it. So much talent that they have coming back. Y'all, they're kind of betting the house on Jackson State. I get it. That's why they number one. But for me, I didn't agree with that. I don't think they should be number one.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you feel like South Carolina State should be number one over Jackson State?
Only because they won the championship.
Over FAM?
Yeah. See, that's where it gets tricky. That's where it gets tricky. That's where it gets tricky because yes, FAMU beat South Carolina State, but South Carolina State beat Jackson State, who FAMU couldn't beat. Like, it gets a little tricky because they won the championship, because they are defending champions. I'm gonna put them at number one, but that doesn't mean that they'll stay at number one, even halfway through the season until somebody knocks them off or until their play shows us that you don't really deserve to be the number one team right now. Yeah, they should have that spot.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about number 4, Alabama A&M, and number 5, North Carolina A&T. Do we feel like, based off of this list, they're deserving to be in those positions? I don't know. I didn't. I'm looking at, like, how they did last year, North Carolina A&T. It was 5 and 6, but they're also in a totally different, conference. If you're
Right.
comparing conferences, Alabama A&M and the SWAC, I do believe that North Carolina A&T had a little bit more competition as opposed to when you're looking at statistics. So do we think that it's, when we're looking at these HBCUs, now we're seeing a shift and, people going into different conferences, different competitions, different FBS schools. Is it a fair assumption to, like, put Alabama A&M over North Carolina A&T?
To me, no. Like, what? On what merit is Alabama A&M better than North Carolina A&T? North Carolina A&T is the one who made the transition to a tougher conference. You know, they still were able to win, like 5 games or something like that. They're not to finish first next season, you know, after making that adjustment. Alabama A&M doesn't even have a starting quarterback. You know, they lost Zeta Bowling Green. They got so much needs that they need to fill. You know, they brought in 13 defensive backs. We don't know how good they're going to be at. There's no reason for me to put Alabama A&M, for them to put Alabama A&M over North Carolina A&T.
Yeah,
that's just outrageous. That's just crazy. That's just they must have been eating some fumes. They must have been smoking on something. they must have went to the local crack house and got some good stuff, because that's just out of this world. To have a school, to have a powerhouse, like for these past 10 years, North Carolina A&T literally has been a powerhouse. They beaten D1 FBS schools. So just to say they're number 5, and they made a conference switch, which is a power struggle, just like you were saying, CFL. That's a power struggle, knowing that you're going into a different conference, you're going into new environments, and you don't know what you're going to get every Saturday. Knowing from Alabama A&M, like they know what they're going to get every Saturday when they play these schools. Like you should be on it. You should already know what schemes, who got what, and where who is who. So like they had a total advantage over North Carolina A&T, but you know, I guess they're looking at it as far as wins and losses and recruiting and all this other hoopla stuff. They ain't really getting needy and greedy to it.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? So Stan Beckton, he was actually the article writer of the preseason football rankings, and this is his first time actually doing a ranking. So it kind of poses questions of like, does this young man, you know about like HBCU football and like the intricacies of like looking at conferences, looking at like exactly what they've done over the seasons and comparing, contrasting? Do y'all think like it matters who's actually making the vote on these HBCU rankings, considering like what we know? Like we know what's going on, but it just seems like, when people just makes assumptions based off of the the surface level of like, oh, well, what they did last year versus actually looking at the team, it's like, do y'all really know what y'all saying? So it's like, does y'all think that matters of like, people who actually have knowledge, let's say it like that, knowledge to what's going on in the HBCU world versus just regular or other FBS schools, because we extraordinary.
I think it matters. But at the same time, and this is like no disrespect to Mr. Beckman himself, but there's certain polls who's that's like made just to get like a reaction out of people, or like it doesn't really mean much or hold much weight, so you can't really put much weight to it yourself. So yeah, it matters who watches HBCU ball, but I think that comes with the amount of influence that they have. Like I think the people with the bigger influence, yes, it is your responsibility to actually do your due diligence and do your homework when watching these games and making these rankings, because a lot of people are going to see it. But if you're on the smaller side of things, you can do it, of course. But I think people are doing it for a reaction, and they're not really watching the games, fully. So unless you're like up here, it doesn't really hold much weight anyway.
Right. True. Well, shout out to, like you said, Mr. Beckton. You did a pretty decent job. There's some little things you think about.
The only thing I can't say, it's on the NCAA FCS page. So I mean, a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not that much. Like
it's this.
It's
giving this.
A grain of salt. A grain of salt.
But that's his first one. Let's just see how, maybe if he does it again, if someone else comes in, maybe give him some little feedback. Maybe he'll watch the show and be like, I ain't think about that. There's different conferences. I don't know.
Yeah. What's his name, Robin? What's his name?
Stan Beckton.
Stan Beckton. If you want to come on the show, we can holler at you and we can talk to you about this ranking. Shoot.
To be fair to Stan, there were analysts who were at SWAC Media Day that had horrible rankings as well. So
Oh,
like
stop
So
him.
I mean, to be fair to him, man. So it's not even just him. Some people just have these crazy opinions on sports, and you just let them have theirs, and you just keep moving.
Hmm. You just gotta keep moving. That's true. Well, yes.
Exactly.
Speaking of moving and bigger and better things, again, Coach Prime does it again. But this time he's in the headlines because he has been, making some strides on bringing more people onto his staff. Specifically, he has had a hand in hiring the new analyst for their team. Which did they have? First of all, I don't really know too much about what an analyst does, but I'm assuming it's like literally analyzing and information about like teams and their players and individual stats. Y'all can, brief me on that.
You right.
But this man, he came from Minnesota Vikings, Coach Mike Zimmer. He was with the team. He was actually fired from that team, I think, back in 2021, so fairly
Yeah, last year.
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was coaching there, and he was the head coach. So it's going from head coach of an NFL team to now analyst of an FBS school, HBCU, however label you want to put on it. What do you guys think? Is this something that's good for JSU? Which, maybe preface, this is not a new relationship for Deion Sanders and Coach Zimmer. Coach Prime and him have known each other from like Dallas times.
Mhm.
So it's like the relationship has been there, but it's like, okay, how did we shift into, hiring into analysts? What do you guys think?
It's a great thing, and a lot of people, they see the title defensive analyst and they think he's not going to be doing much. That's just a title. That's
Hmm.
that's that's just the title. If people think he's not gonna have a hand with Coach Sturman and trying to put Travis and Nugget and Cam and Joker in the right positions, like they're crazy. He's
Hmm.
going to have his hand in that. Just the same way they brought in what's his name, the coach before him from North, Tim Brewster. They brought in
Yeah.
Tim
Yeah.
Brewster. Yeah, he has a fancy title as well, but he's doing more than what that title suggests. He's helping
Right.
in recruiting, and he's also having playing a hand in coaching up those tight ends. So this is a great thing for Jackson State because now you get another defensive-minded coach who at one point in time had the number one defense in the league. You got a guy who coached the GOAT himself at the cornerback position. So now this is not only going to help your team that you have now, but it's also going to help recruiting because
Right.
now all of these big recruits that are putting Jackson State in that top 5, top 10, top 3, but not choosing Jackson State. One of their biggest worries is, can y'all really get me to the league? I know y'all got Travis. That's 3 years out. We don't know what's gonna happen with that.
Hmm.
Can y'all get me to the league? I need to know before I make this decision. What are y'all doing to get me to the league? Now they can say we got just as good as a staff as anybody else. We got Mike
Right.
Zimmer. We got Tim Brewster, who developed Kyle Pitts, a top 5 pick in the NFL draft just a year ago. You got me, the GOAT. You got Coach Thurman, coached in the league as well. Like you come here and we're gonna do everything possible to get you to the next level. This does nothing but benefit Jackson State, and I love the move. Honestly, they playing chess, not checkers.
No, they really are.
Man, all I gotta say, these niggas better not lose. Excuse my language. They better not lose.
Yeah.
Bruh,
They really
if they
stacked. They
if
really
they
are
Mhm.
lose,
stacked.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be on them like white on rice.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be on them like a rock in your shoe. I'm
Hmm.
gonna be
Hmm.
on them like chocolate on marshmallow. I'm gonna be on you. If you lose,
Hmm.
just know I'm gonna be on you.
Hmm.
You have no hiccups to lose.
Mhm.
All this NFL coaching talent, you have no excuses to make adjustments, to do what you got to do to
Right.
win the game.
Right.
And you talk about dominate, you better win the game by 15. I don't want none of these old 6 3s and 5s and I don't want 1 point game. I don't want none of that. I want to see 15s on everybody. 21 skunk.
Mhm.
I think it's okay. So it's like a level of, yes, we do see, there's a stacked staff. You got experience out the wazoo, years and years of experience of not just coaching at the collegiate level, but coaching at the pro level, right? But also have to take into consideration, like, you're now bringing a new set of eyes, a new set of perspectives, and all those concepts have to work together. So immediately, although like Coach Zimmer has the experience, has like all the necessary expertise to bring to the table, it's also like, okay, now you also are part of this staff. You went from being the head coach of the team, now you're going to be working for somebody else. So my thing is like understanding, or hopefully, coaches in that understanding a role of like, you're going to have to be a follower as well. Like, you're going to lead some things, you're going to bring in your expertise, you're going to bring in your experiences. But it's like sometimes when you have people that's coming in, not saying that it's going to be Coach Zimmer, because I hope he doesn't, because he should know his role. But he just was a head coach at an NFL team. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
okay, know your role also. Like, don't come in here and be like, which I feel like Coach Prime don't put him in this place regardless. But it's like, okay, you're dealing with different athletes. You're dealing with an HBCU team. Like, all of that you have to navigate. And it's like, Coach Zimmer, like, know what you're getting into. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't be like, okay, you can have your rapport and your best friendship with Coach Prime and Coach Sanders, but it's like, also know your role here. So that's the only thing I'll be thinking about. Like, okay, y'all bringing in these big names, but you're gonna be in Jackson, Mississippi. You're not in Minneapolis anymore, sir. Like, and I went from Midwest to South and South to Midwest, so I know that change is a little different. So I'm like, make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. So, but that's, I mean, I feel like that's dope too. Like you said, Ron, like we expect greatness, but at the same time, you got to do your job regardless, no matter who you are and where you come from. So it is what it is at this point. So, but I know one thing, Coach Prime, he got the connections.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I said, what? You've been knowing him since the 99 to 2000. Literally, it says 94 since 2006. Said, okay.
But you gotta think about this. That's where he lacked at last season. I don't know, CFL can test this. It's just like they never made like any good adjustments. Like, there wasn't no afterward adjustments they made to be like, oh, this won us the game. No, it's just they had that problem that was rushing.
Yeah.
On that DN named James Houston, he was ripping and spinning and getting them sacks. That's the reason why y'all won half of y'all games, just to let y'all know.
And the thing with that is, man, them only being in Jackson State for such a short period of time, people got to remember they ain't been there that long. They came in COVID. A lot of things were working against them. So for as much good as they did, they were bound to have a lot of missteps as well. Like the adjustments that you mentioned. A lot of times, man, during the season, you see they just out talent a lot of other schools. James Houston coming up in the clutch when he needed to. They just out talent a lot of people. And Coach Prime recognizing those mistakes that they made. He did his. I mean, I have never seen a coach so hell bent on fixing every single big mistake that he made last year. So I agree with you. They didn't make adjustments like how they should, but he knows that now. Like, he had everything written down ever since that Celebration Bowl loss. He had everything written down, and he tried to patch the holes. Now we gonna see how effective it is in just a couple weeks.
I'm excited to see it. I'm ready for football season to get started. Yeah.
Hey, make sure y'all like and send this to y'all friends, man. Make sure y'all like when y'all come in here, man. Thank y'all.
Thanks. All right, so kind of going off the Coach Prime train, introducing Coach Simmons into the conversation. Ron, talk a little bit about what is going on in the Twitter sphere. I'm not a Twitter person, so I'm not even going to try to figure out what's going on. But what's going on in the Twitter spaces between Coach Prime, Coach Simmons right
now? So Uncle Lou, basically Uncle Lou. Everybody know who Uncle Lou is. Yeah. He basically set up with Dion and Coach Willie to have this talk or conference on Twitter. It was good. It was amazing. People got to ask questions. People, got to listen in to what was their comments or how they was going to move forward in football. It's just, just to see two dominating Black coaches just to be in that space and literally talk good about each other and talk good about each other's teams and just talk good about HBCU football in general. that was like amazing. And just, hearing the conversations, hearing what the fans ask, they ask good questions, it was just a good interview environment for, everybody. I think they should do this with other coaches in the SWAC, and also just do it with all like majority of the HBCU coaches, because we need more conversations like this.
Yeah.
Because it's not so many times like they see each other, it'd be a hey, bye, see you later, or I'll talk to you later. We need more conversations like this going around to let the fans know like what's really going on behind closed doors, or what is the future of HBCU football. So we will know, and we won't have to keep making these assumptions.
Right. What exactly were they talking about? I'm sorry, CFL.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I wasn't on Twitter, so like I didn't even get a chance to listen to Coach Prime and what Coach Simmons was saying. So I was just gonna ask you more about that. Like, what was really the topic at hand that they were discussing on that Twitter space?
It was more so about the Orange Blossom Classic and how they can get more community events involved and more Black business involved with the football teams. I know that was mainly that, what was being asked as far as, what can we do from outside looking in to help y'all, buying season member packages, actually going to the game and not staying outside the game and tailgating the whole time, spending money, donating, because we don't donate enough dollars to HBCUs.
Right.
We go to an NFL game, we spending a good $150, $160, close to $200, just on the tickets alone. And we don't mind that, but once we go right down to Orangeburg or Fairview or Jackson State or something, they say, oh, $75 a ticket. We like, oh, hell no.
Right.
I'm deucing out, bro. I'm deucing out. But we
talking about, do y'all have a coupon code, a promotional code?
Yeah, y'all got a BOGO, like about one seat to get another seat free. Like, nah, we can't be like that. So, just how we go to these other big events and we spend our money, we need to spend our money on the HBCU, circulating that Black dollar that goes back to our communities. Then just talking about the communities that have businesses, like they definitely need to partner up with these other HBCUs. So once they partner up and they have the dollars circulating through the Black community, and it can go a long way. And that was really the topic of what they're talking about. They talked a little bit about the athletes and who's coming and, what they got going on for the Orange Blossom Classic, but that's really about it.
I like that. And I also think that at some point, it can't just be Coach Prime discussing most of this. Like, I'm gonna need it. Coach Simmons, he's been doing an okay job. I'm gonna need to see more of him. I'm gonna need to see Coach Maynor with that big personality of his. He's made for the camera. Like, why are you not speaking on this more? I'm gonna need more of these HBCU coaches to start, talking like Coach Prime is talking, so we can really see this. Like, because right now it seems like when it comes to this change for HBCUs, from the outside looking in, it looks like he's doing most of the work. Like, it's only him. And I know that, all of these coaches care just as much as Coach Prime does because they've been in it longer. I just need to hear you. Like, I need to see you talking about it. So, yeah, at some point, they got to be more than Coach Prime.
That was actually going to be my question of who do you guys think should be next if they were to do this platform again, do this event again? Who would y'all want to see, co-hosting together, having these conversations, even if it's not necessarily about a specific game? Because I understand, like, that conversation was like the Orange Blossom Classic and all of those things. But, like, who else do y'all think could really benefit from, like, even gaining attention, gaining exposure, all of those things?
For me, Coach Maynor. I want to see Coach Maynor for sure. Hugh Jackson just got in here, so I'm gonna give him a pass. But eventually he gonna have to get things popping because he got a lot of pull. We saw him on Pivot, so we know he can really get the cameras in his face if he wanted to. But yeah, right now for me it's Coach Maynor. I love his personality. It's made for the cameras. I think he would be a great person to advocate for HBCUs.
Robin, I'm gonna go in your country. I'm gonna go down there to the boot. I'm gonna go down there to the boot. Coach Dooley, he the best dressed. He can show up and show out, man, with all his Kappa swag. I mean,
Oh,
he
he's gonna
like
show out for sure.
yeah, like he the best dressed in the swag. So you might as well just go ahead and be the mouth of the South. Yeah, I mean, that's the person I would love to see to do more and more and more, Coach Dooley, because just watching the little snippets of Southern, he's out there yelling, talking, doing all these things. So just get more of him reacting with the community and the players. That would be awesome, especially for your state, Louisiana, the boot. That would be
Oh yeah,
awesome.
for sure. We do need to do more talking. I feel like, especially like just thinking, we're going back to like Hugh Jackson. I was going to say like he would definitely be someone that I would want to see more of in like in public eye. I feel like he's done a lot behind the scenes, and like Gremlin has had a lot of things happen for them as well. Just thinking marketing wise, business wise. But I'm also like, okay, it's time for you to also start having conversations like with the rest of SWAC or west of just HBCU football in general. But I would agree with you as a CFL. I'm like, okay, maybe just not yet. Like maybe next year, because they've been having a lot of things going on. You know what I'm saying? All the different coaches and offensive coordinators, but it's fine. It's fine. They're gonna be great. They're gonna be fine. So shout out to Grambling. Y'all are doing amazing.
The G.
But yeah. So we got some great things happening in NFL. We've seen a lot of history being made with our HBCU athletes being in the NFL, being representation of our HBCUs and things like that. First and foremost, Sheer Bridges. Let's talk about what he's been doing. Is he a force to be reckoned with? You know what I'm saying? Season's about to start. Our preseason is going to be happening. What do we expect from Bridges this season?
Shamar Bridges is a very underrated talent, and I think he's one of those diamonds in the rough, who just unfortunately went overlooked coming out of high school, or maybe he was just a late bloomer coming out of high school, and Fort Valley State did an amazing job developing him and wanted to get him to the next level. But man, him at 6'4", 210 pounds, that physique he has. I'm expecting him to make that roster for sure, that 53-man roster. I mean, just you got the stats up: 4 receptions, 62 yards, and a touchdown. For him to do that with a quarterback who I believe it wasn't Lamar Jackson, it was the backup Huntley, I believe. Not even a traditional passer. For him to put up those stats in a preseason game with limited reps, man, I think the sky's the limit for him, and I definitely think he is going to be a guy who is going to at the very least. The floor for him would be just a regular contributor to a franchise.
Right.
Definitely. Just balling out like that in the preseason, like he literally mossed that kid. Like, yeah, he if you saw the footage of him just mossing the dude in the end zone and just him running his routes, like his talent looks way above the other people on the field, hands down. Like he looks like he's already been there 1 year. He's not even a rookie. Like he already know what to do. His body language of him running and getting out his route, of him getting contested with the jump ball and literally bringing it down to him. You can just tell he got NFL talent written all over him in that position. And just know probably from like 2 years from now, Lamar is really going to have a good receiver. And that boy's going to get paid once, his contract ends with this rookie campaign.
Absolutely. And so even with, we just talked about Shamar Bridges, but like we have some other athletes that are out there, doing everything that they need to be doing, showing out, because they're still trying out, so to speak. Like your place has not been solidified on this team. So you have to be able to show up and show out every single chance you get. Right. So you have James Houston, Joshua Williams, Marquise Bell. All of these players are showing out. Now, do we think, you know what I'm saying, they're in their respective teams? Who would you say out of this list right here do you feel like is going to be like, yes, they're going to be playing the games this season, hands down. They're going to give them opportunity. Boom.
Kobe Durant, off top, the Kobe Durant. And I ain't saying that to be biased, right? I'm like so happy that he was able to give me an interview on the channel and everything. I love the Kobe Durant. He is making the whole state of South Carolina proud. But it's not just the fact that he's from South Carolina. This man had 3 picks in training camp on Matthew Stafford. He's now taking reps with the first team. He ain't been in past that long with the Rams. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
He is the dude. Every time he goes up against bigger competition, we saw it at Clemson. Had 2 picks against Clemson at DJ Uyunglele, right? He's always shown up in big games. The Kobe Durant, first of all, he's going to make that roster. That's off top. Him learning from you hear Jalen Ramsey raving about him. Head coach Sean McVay raving about him. He's a guy who, if I had to pick, the Kobe Durant is a done deal. We're gonna see him on that field at some point because they aren't even that deep at corner anyway. So they were hoping that he and that other rookie DB that they drafted worked out. So the Kobe Durant is gonna be on that field. And if the Kobe Durant wasn't on that list, I would say Joshua Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Next up for me. I mean, I saw the footage. He is locking people down in training camp for the Chiefs, man. He's doing a tremendous job. He's one of those guys who, you wonder, was he a late bloomer coming out of high school or was he just overlooked? But with that wingspan, with that height and that recovery speed, him playing corner, it's like he's just, those 2 dudes are just showing out to me. They all doing great, but but for me, it's the Kobe Durant for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Ron?
Like CFL said, I think it's first off Kobe Durant. Like, he's from South Carolina, so we got put on for the States right there. So that's first and foremost. But besides from that, literally playing special teams, playing with the first team, he's going out there making plays. He's literally playing his nose to the football like that. I guess that's what they told him to do, and literally he's doing it. Like, hey, play your nose to the football, Durant. All right, and he just went out there and did it. So he looks like he's already been there half a season. He looking mid-season form for me as far as on the defensive side. I don't want to see him on special teams, but you got to get in where you fit in. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. Keep showing out on special teams, Durant. Keep doing your thing. Keep making tackles. Keep being physical. And, definitely I'll see you out there this season. I don't know about week 1 or week 2, but I'm definitely see you out there in a rotation, later on in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for Williams, I think he's probably going to be, if he stay healthy, he may be one of the corners that people have to, game plan for.
Yeah.
Just because his size. And just because, like you said, CFL, just because his size and his speed. Mm-hmm. Like, we know we can't throw to his side because it's locked down. That's how I feel he's going to be in these next couple of years as far as, him being solidifying that corner position. I got to talk about my 2 other boys. Houston got a tackle. He did very good. The Lions rave about him during practice. He said they still got stuff to work on, but he played full speed. That's why they love him. They said if he mess up, he messing up and make a mistake. That's the thing that I love. He does, like James Houston don't care if he mess up. He's just going out there playing physical, nose to the ball, just don't care if I mess up, don't care if I miss a tackle. As long as I make some type of as long as I mess up the play. That's what James Houston is out there to do, mess up plays and get sacks. Mm-hmm. And Bell, for me, Bell didn't do too much. I think they should have had him more out there and let him be free. But knowing the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, he always.
Sorry, my bad.
You good? You good? He always take his players. He always take them out. Or doesn't open up the defensive playbook fully during the preseason. Yeah, that's what Quinn does. So
I mean, they didn't even do too hot as a team like this past weekend. Anyway,
so for this next game, I'm really expecting him to play more. And he got 1 quarterback hit. I think they need to let Bell play free the next game. Just let him play free. Let him do what he's been doing in college, and he's going to be successful.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Well, okay, Ron, let's talk about this over and under thing. What is over and under? Is it betting? What is it?
So over and under. We got a list of things that we're going to talk about. If you think if you think somebody gonna get over the wins or losses or number, we say over, and we explain why we say over.
Oh,
And they get under the wins and everything. We're gonna say under. They ain't even gonna get 4 wins this year. They're gonna go under. So this
okay,
this
bet, bet, bet.
little over and under, just a little game. We're gonna try to do this every week just to keep the morale up. And people, you can comment in here if they're gonna go over or under the wins or losses or yards or anything this year. So go ahead, Robin.
Okay, so first up, South Carolina State will win over 8 games this year. Yes or no? Will they go win over or will they win under 8 games? I'm gonna say under.
I told you this a game right here. This a game right here.
That's it. That's it. I'm gonna say under. Boom. That's it. That's all I have.
All right, okay. They have, because it's the schedule, right? Like they got South Carolina. Who they got UCF. Those are probably gonna be 2 losses right there.
They got FAMU. That's a tough one.
They got FAMU. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Rattlers.
Nah, you know what? I got belief in my dog. I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say over. I got belief in my peoples. I'm gonna say over.
It's to me. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say. Under. They're gonna get right at 7. I say they're gonna get right at.
I
7.
said 7. In my mind, I thought 7. So
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna get right at 7 as far as who they play. Hopefully,
mhm.
hopefully they'll stay healthy. That's my thing. They didn't stay healthy last year. Everybody didn't stay healthy. So hopefully, if they stay healthy, they can do some damage.
I
I
hope
didn't know
they
that
beat
was an option.
UCF.
I
I
didn't know that
hope.
was an option. If that's an option, I would have just said right there at 8. Like I just would have settled right there. But
Okay, next one. Norfolk State will run over 2,000 yards this year. Like
I'm
as a
a,
community, like
Like as a whole,
just as a whole throughout the
as a
season.
whole throughout the season.
Over. What did they do last year? And then I'll be able to.
They got close. I think they got the 1,800. So they got
Okay, well,
close.
can I say at? Can I say at?
I
Like,
mean,
do
if
I
you
have to
say
say
at,
over?
that's kind of no, that's over. If you want to say yeah,
Say
that's yeah.
over. You know
Okay.
what? Norfolk, y'all got my vote. Over. I think they're gonna be push it to the limit. All that. Yeah.
I'm gonna say under, but slightly. Slightly. I don't think they'll get the
Well, like
2,000 yards.
1,999.
Yeah, like 1,900 yards. I think they get there again. JJ Davis is probably one of the most explosive backs in HBCU ball. But
Mhm.
nah, like I don't see them. I don't see them getting over. I'm sorry, especially now with Jawan Carter being there anymore. I don't think they get there.
Now I'm gonna be watching the football. Like, where they at? What's
I
the
feel
verdict?
you. Sure. I'm gonna say under on this one. I know the MEAC done tough enough in the trenches, so especially going against certain defenses is going to be hard, knowing good and well what they're going to do this year.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely gonna say under. I don't see them at all getting the 2,000, but it can happen. It can.
Fingers crossed for my sake. Okay, Shaq Davis will catch over 50 catches and then over a
Yeah.
thousand yards. So conclude like concurrently. So are you saying like he has to do this over 50 in addition to 1,000 yards this season?
Together. Yeah, he has to do that together.
Oh my God.
I'm going over. I'm going over on my
You're
dog.
going okay. I'm gonna go over with CFL. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about, so I'm gonna say it.
I'm going. Listen, Shaq, man. first of all, he was injured for a couple of games anyway last season. Wasn't really fully healthy. But this is a guy, when he's healthy, averages 20 yards per catch, right? Per catch. Now that if he's going to be fully healthy, he's going to get more targets regardless, especially after that Celebration Bowl performance. You lose Wolverine. You got new guys coming in, Raheem White, Justin Smith-Brown. As talented as they are, right away, if I'm Corey Fields, I'm looking to my sure bet at receiver Shaq Davis early on until I can get the rest of these new guys acclimated to the offense. So just for that reason alone, Shaq Davis got my vote, man. He's hard to stop, even with two people on him. I done seen him make plenty catches downfield with two defenders on him, just having no chance. Shaq getting over 50 receptions for sure, and I believe he can get to that 1,000-yard season as well.
Definitely. Same here. I'm over this because like he got hurt in the season and he almost had 1,000. Like that's insane that you get hurt, miss a couple of games, and you still like was 200 yards from 1,000. And I think he was only like 5 or 6 catches from catching 50.
Yeah.
So like that for me to sit here and say he's not gonna go, he's literally gonna go over that. He's gonna go beast mode this year. The NFL scouts is really gonna be on him. So yeah, Shaq Davis, I'll applaud you. You're gonna go over that. Yeah.
What year Shaq?
I think he's a junior or sophomore.
Because of COVID, like in the classroom, I think he's higher than what he is on the field right now. I think
because he redshirted.
Yeah,
COVID. So he got 2 years.
Yeah, I think he got he probably got 3 years left. If I'm being honest.
Damn.
Yeah, so two at least, 3 at the most.
Yeah, but at that point, correct me if I'm wrong, you can enter into the draft before actually finishing.
Yeah.
Like your required, I guess, years of eligibility, essentially, right? Okay. Okay, cool. I'm gonna check. Go over, period. Howard will win 5 games this year. Yeah, since they're staying in the MEAC.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Agree.
Since they're staying in the MEAC.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's the caveat. No, you're fine. I just wanted to mention again, since they're staying in the MEAC. Thank you. Goodbye.
No, I think Howard got a lot of life right now, with that successful recruiting year that they had. A few freshmen are going to come in and contribute right away. Eden James, son of NFL Hall of Famer Adrian James, he's looking fantastic in camp. They just got the Jordan brand. They got all the new gear coming in. They excited about that.
They did.
This program has new life right now. I think that they will get over 5 wins, but I'm going to stay like 6 at the most. I'll stop it right there.
That's all right. It's over.
Yeah.
Go Bison. It's over.
Man.
Not too contemplating.
Howard is a tricky school because when they own, they own. But when they off, their ass is off. Like the spray off. Get this off me.
Not the off.
I'm gonna go under. The only reason why I'm gonna go under is because their brand, as far as from the president on down, doesn't care about athletics. So yeah,
good point. That's good.
Once I see their school actually care about athletics, I mean, the Jordan brand was a big step, but once I really see more into Howard as far as athletics, then I can talk about it.
But you know what? To play devil's advocate, those types of energy creates this motivation of I am going to do what I need to do in order to get the attention that's necessary. This deal is like what? How many years is it? Like 20 years or something with the Jordan brand? Something. I don't know. It's like a long period.
I think it was 25 years.
25 years, exactly. So it's like, okay, you got that. That's a motivator right there. Show out. You probably gonna have new uniforms, maybe some new cleats on. I don't know. And then it's like, okay, we probably everybody hearing everybody talking their little smack about how they've been off for a long time. So it's like, all right, maybe this their year to come back and do what they need to do. So I'm gonna give them they over. I'm gonna try to have some faith in the Bison there. They're staying in the MEAC.
Yeah. Hopefully they stay in the MEAC. But I want to have faith and say that they actually start to care about football. But my girl's a Howard grad, right? Like she graduated from Howard back in 2017. So like when I asked her like why y'all so lit at one part, but like football, y'all seem like y'all don't really care. She was like, we really don't care about we didn't really care about football at Howard. Like they did, like they was already they already popping in a lot of aspects. They just didn't really care about football. And I do hope that changes though, but man, you was right on point with that, bro.
Yeah. So speaking to the alumni right there. They don't care about football.
He said they don't care. All right. Will FAMU use this is interesting. Will FAMU use over 3 quarterbacks this year? It's crazy. I think yes. Only because they like, you get a chance, you get a chance, you get a chance. I'm gonna say yes. You know what? It's not necessarily a terrible thing. I guess it's kind of all over the place if they really do that. If they really do that, it's kind of all over the place. Unless they just got some consistency going around and they just trying to fill a niche and figure out what's going on. But yeah, I'm gonna actually say they're gonna go over. I think they're gonna be like right at 3 or over.
I'm gonna say under, but I do think they're gonna use 2 quarterbacks. Like I think he's going to give the job to Rashawn McKay just because Rashawn is more experienced and last year he kind of put it together a little bit. But at some point, people are going to be calling for Jeremy Moussa as soon as Rashawn McKay starts to play bad. As soon as he throws a pick or an incomplete pass, they want Moussa in there, to transfer from Vanderbilt. So now they go definitely go to at least 2 quarterbacks. But I don't see them doing 3 because I don't like to talk bad about nobody. I've seen the footage. Let me I've seen the practice footage. I've seen some of the passes from the backups. Not Rashawn, not Moussa, but the rest of the backups. If they ain't showing you nothing now, it ain't even no need to put you in the game.
They just may need a nap, CG, and they may just need a nap.
They need some milk.
They need some milk.
You know what? I feel like this is going to be. I feel like they're going to. They're gonna go under. All right. Well, I'm gonna say 3, so they're gonna go over. I'm gonna say right at 3.
Y'all said 3, yeah, right at 3. Yeah.
Right at 3 because I feel like he said, see, if once Sean, once Sean McKay, you got to go. you gotta go.
Got a very short lead.
Your lease like this. This is Sean McKay lease like. Like he can't even sneeze.
Oh no!
The first time for Sean McKay sneezed, oh yeah, your ass was grass. Jeremy, hey, warm up your
He has no margin for error right now. None.
Exactly. Then I feel like Jeremy and Maritobin, I feel like them two could be like either second string quarterback as far as like their arm because they're both gunslingers. And both of them are way more mobile than McKay. So, just those 2 quarterbacks alone, I feel like it's going to be 3.
Mm-hmm. All right. Will JSU lose over 2 games this year?
No.
Under. Respectfully, with all that they have on their staff and their teams, respectfully, no. Under. Yeah.
If Jackson State loses over 2 games this season, hell,
fire everybody. The entire team, special teams included, everybody.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine that. Like even if they win somehow, go on to win the Celebration Bowl. You're not gonna hit the last of that. Losing 2 games with all that talent. Nah, I give them 1. I give them a margin of error for 1 game. Just because I don't know how Campbell really is, whenever they see them on homecoming. But they ain't losing more than 2 games now. I can't see that.
Talking about they gonna go undefeated. Hey yo.
I'll be damned. I feel like they're gonna lose 2 games.
Okay, but are
they
you
gonna
saying over
Like
two,
you over?
Ron,
oh no,
or
I don't.
at two?
Act 2. This is gonna be literally Act 2. Like they gonna lose 2 games,
So
and like you
who's your
said,
two?
You not playing fair.
it's good. FAMU, that's gonna be the first one. Go ahead and get that L off of your butt. Yep, FAMU,
Right.
and the second one is the second one gonna be a sleeper. Like they gonna, I don't know who it's gonna be. It's gonna be either it's gonna be that Campbell team or like I want to say I want to say probably Alabama A&M. I want to say
Really?
I want to say Alabama A&M or Bethune because those two teams, especially Bethune. Bethune had a run for their money last year, and somehow they just messed up.
Bethune had the
But
whole conference on the run. To be honest with you, they just shot themselves in the foot every time.
yeah, every
Mm-hmm.
time. So like it's either going to be like, especially playing Campbell, knowing and it's your homecoming, so you already know you're going to be high off energy. And Campbell already just going to be high off energy just coming to Jackson, and we playing prime time and we playing on TV. So like that's just gonna that's gonna be a crazy game. That's just gonna be a crazy game.
All right. Well, we'll see. BSU win more than 2 games.
Over. I'll go over.
Over.
I go over.
Why did you do that, Ron? That's disrespectful. That's so
Only-
disrespectful. I don't
They
even
only
like
won
how I
two-
read it.
They
I
only
had to
won
look
2
at what it
games last
said,
year.
and I said
They,
win more than okay.
they
Go
only won
over.
2 games. They only
Don't.
won 2 games last year.
So you said, wait, you just said
I'm
that
making
you was
this off
gonna.
last.
Well, didn't you just put Bethune over JSU, and you
They,
just was talking about some win more than 2 games for them? I think that they gonna win
I
more than 2
mean
games.
that could be their 1 game.
That's the 2 games. That really counts as 2 if you look at it. Winning over JSU counts as 2.
That could be their 2
Respect.
games. That could be their 2 games, but that's a homecoming and the game at Jacksonville and the Jaguar Stadium. Oh, that's another game. So that's a college and an NFL game all in one. Oh boy, they having a shindig going back to Daytona that night, boy. But respectfully, they're gonna win over. They're gonna win over 2 games. I'll put them over, just because of all the returning talent they have, just from offense to defense, and especially they tight end Amari. That dude is just freaking nature to be that big, and they can run that fast, and literally everybody look like a baby out there to him as far as the tight end goes.
I'm gonna say over simply because Jalen Jones. Like, to be honest with you, now that you might not have the best quarterback, but now you have a quarterback who's developed a lot more as a passer than what he was when he was at Jackson State. With Coach Prime during that short season and before Coach Prime. So now that you have a legitimate quarterback and you came so close to beating schools before with virtually no passing game, I think they'll definitely win over 2 games with Jalen for sure.
All right. Next one. Will PV win more than 5 games? I say under.
Yeah, under.
I'm saying under.
I can't see it.
PV just got to get it together. In all respect, Purview just got to get it together. Collectively.
Yeah, they ain't gonna get no 5 games this year. Most of they about to be at the bottom of the swag. That their goal is to win 2. If they can win 2, that's a whole party in the shindig. They going under. Down.
That's
under.
who you should have had for that question for Bethune, doing Bethune like that.
But they won 5. I mean, I'm looking at last year, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to base it off last year, and I'm giving them 5. We never know. Yeah.
Yeah, not more. All right, three more. Will Southern rush over 2,000 yards? Uh, I'm gonna let y'all
I'm
go, and then I'll base
tempted.
my answer off of y'all.
I'm tempted to go over. No, I'm gonna say under as well. But they get close. They get close, just like Norfolk. I don't think they get over, just because defenses in the SWAC have upgraded tremendously. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
no longer have the best offensive line in the SWAC. They did last year. They was way over everybody with that offensive line last year. You don't have that this year. Jatir
Yeah.
Carter's gone. You know, like some of those guys are gone. So they gonna take a little bit of a step back. But I still think they have a successful year rushing, but not over 2,000 yards.
Yeah. My initial thought
Uh,
was under.
okay.
I'll stick with it.
I say over because they are running school. Like when I think of Southern, I think of ground and pound. I think of them going out there and just dogging people out from the running game all 4 quarters. So I feel like they can get over 2,000 yards this season, especially with just the athletes they have all around. I just feel like that should be their goal every year to get over 2,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. All right. Will Land have over 15 sacks this season?
Under.
Under.
Respectfully under.
Oh,
People know
wow.
you now. People know you now. They gonna game plan for you now. Like there's no way you're not going doubled the majority of the season. You know, if I'm an offensive coordinator, you crazy as hell. You think I ain't doubling you every play. Nah, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't finna mess up my game plan. Nah, so he gonna have to deal with being the talk of the town now every single week. Nah, so no, he ain't getting over 15 sacks. He's under.
I'm gonna say
But
at. I'm gonna do a safe at.
let me say this. Let me say this to you, CFL. Everybody knows James Houston was a problem, right?
Uh,
And why sometimes that Joker was a one-on-one? Why? Why?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good point. Good point.
It's literally been times he was like, why was he on one-on-one?
right.
Why? He gonna get 15 this year. He gonna get 15. He
I'm
gonna
giving 15.
just like he had a breakout game against South Carolina State. Somehow, some way, he got 5, and still one person was blocking him. It's going to be the same way this year. So it's going to be one team that's just going to be dumb enough to keep making that one person block him.
I would hope not. I would hope not. You ain't
I
doing
just
no
think
kind of
that, like,
studying.
just like how you said, CFL, like, he's going to be a top of the town. He is going to be almost, in a sense, targeted. I think if they were doing their jobs right, is preparing for that. You know what I mean? Like, on the flip side, being, like, knowing that that's where you are and, like, that's the attention and that's what you are probably, going to be experiencing, you need to prepare for that. So in essence, I'm like, okay, if like we know that they gonna be like, all right, let's make sure we got them in on lock. It's like, okay, you got to be preparing for that. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, he know like we know. So don't get caught slipping. Don't act like, oh, surprise, surprise. Like, why they on me like this? You should know.
Right.
So it's like I think I don't know if he's gonna get over 15. That's why I was like, maybe at a little bit under, like 13 to 15.
Right.
Say,
That's a good place for him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is the last and final one.
Last and final one. Will Hunter have 5 picks?
Ooh.
Over or under? Go. Oh my God, that's y'all thinking.
Ooh.
That is a tough one.
That's a tough one.
I personally think,
Travis Hunter over.
He'll have over 5.
Over.
But you got to think about it. Once he get those first 3, they're gonna be like, oh nah. But I feel.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at, right? Because they're gonna try him first because he's a freshman. They don't care about that 5-star. But when he shows you why he's the number 1 recruit in the country, you're gonna want to back off. You're gonna want to back off. So
but that's when you switch it up.
Yeah,
don't
right.
Give them what they want. Don't give them what they want.
So I'm gonna put him directly at 5. I think that's good enough, just because he's gonna be playing offense too. So he gonna be a little fatigued anyway. I'm gonna put him right at 5 because people gonna figure out sooner or later, like, okay, nah, he's for real the number 1 player in the country. Let's not try him. Let's throw somewhere else. So yeah, nah, I'll put him right at 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put him over just because I feel like they just, either he get some luck of the pick or somebody just gonna just like some quarterbacks are really just gonna try. Some offenses is just they don't care. They don't care if you had 2 picks last game. Oh, we gonna go at them. Blah blah blah. We put the best receiver out there. CFL.
Bro,
you know them coaches gonna do that.
You don't know how right you are saying that. I was on TikTok, bro, and I just ran across this random Prairie View players account, and the caption was like, when somebody tells me that Travis Hunter is gonna have like 2,000 yards on us or something like that, and I'm just like, okay, y'all talking now, like y'all they telling me where they mindset at with Travis, like they don't care. They kind of want to go at him just to kind of expose him, and that's gonna end up badly for somebody. So I see where the mindset at around the SWAC is. So yeah, they gonna try him. They gonna try him.
They gonna try him. Like they
Look,
literally
Coach Prime gonna make sure he's straight. That's all I know. I know he's gonna make sure he's straight.
Definitely. But that was a little game. I thought of. I was like, man, let's do something fun. Let's do something interesting. We hardly don't do any games on the show. We need to start doing these.
I love a good game.
I love a good.
This is fun for sure. You need to keep this.
I love.
Keep this. We approve.
We go keep this one, and I love the fans' interactions of seeing what they said as far as over under and everything. So thank y'all. Thank you CFL, man. Thank you CFL for coming by. On your busy schedule, coming over here. Shout out to your YouTube page, Instagram, Twitter, and all that.
So everything social media is COBIORR, Kobe Orr. Real easy, real simple. So y'all ain't no underscores and nothing like that. Y'all ain't gotta write it down and nothing like it's real simple. Kobe Orr, all that together. And of course, my YouTube channel is the CFL Podcast. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Because a lot of y'all be watching, but y'all ain't subscribing. It'd be like half and half. You check them analytics. That's what it be. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. That's all I got.
I'll be checking them analytics too. I'll be having on my thing. I'll be having like 1,000. I'll be like, hold up, why ain't y'all joking subscribing? If y'all really like my stuff, like I don't get it. Like, yeah, help me help you. If you like me, if you like my stuff, then subscribe.
It don't even cost you when
you can see
it. The button.
Exactly. It don't even cost you. It don't even cost you to
put a click and click.
I like it. Don't cost you to put a like. It don't cost you to subscribe. So at least subscribe to the boy page because I know what he go through. We know what Cole go through. So I'm going through it right now. Y'all please like and subscribe.
We all going through it.
Yeah, we all he going through because hold on right here. She a part of it. So he going, yeah. But thank y'all, man. We love y'all. This is Priest Not Reed. We definitely gonna be on here next week. As far as week 0, we're gonna go through who plays in week 0, wins, losses, how many yards and stats they're gonna get, and any upcoming news in the I can't even talk right. Any upcoming news
HBC World. I got you.
Yeah, there you go. Getting a little tongue tied, but thank y'all. Love y'all. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.